Hey everybody, hope you guys doing okay. So I want to talk about hope. So I'm reading a collective reading from a particular tarot card reading channel, and something I came across is that you know, the collectively apparently people are having trouble with hope, and like this particular message was like, I'd give anything for a day to feel for a day of hope, to feel hope. Like that's something that these person collective, whatever that doesn't know. They don't know. They're literally alien. Hope is an alien feeling to them. And this morning I woke up in a pretty rotten mood. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not surprised because there's a reason why it says in the Bible to not go to bed angry. You wake up in a shitty mood. It's happened every single time. Every time I go to bed when I'm angry as fuck, rageful, done did some stuff to create a bunch of drama, whatever. I usually, just about every time, wake up feeling pretty shitty. For good reason. I could have reacted healthier yesterday, but I didn't. Even though I wasn't even like, I wasn't really trying to fight anybody or even be angry or mean. Something I did yesterday, just, the words I chose to spread, there were words I shared that were not from the most good place in my soul. Like, I had a little bit of a chip on my shoulder in regards to a certain person, and then that created a little bit of a clusterfuck of energy, and I did not react the best yesterday, and that's, so that's why I'm waking up not feeling so good. And I'm bringing this up to try to relate to people who are having trouble with hope. And, for me, like, I, a lot of times as a drug addict, like, it's like you have to be okay with not feeling okay. Like, you just have to, like, do the good work without even feeling good about doing it. And, that's how you start. You just have, and then you slowly, but I know that I'm going to feel better. Like, that's why you're feeling the pain, is because you haven't done, it's an imbalance essentially, and all type of pain, all that type of shit is an imbalance. Like whenever there's an issue with anything, it's like a car. Like when there's not enough oil in the vehicle, it's not going to run. It's a balancing. You got to have a certain amount of oil and gasoline ratio, and then you have a vehicle that runs smoothly. The same thing with the human body. When it has all of the proper optimal nutrients that it needs to run optimally, it runs optimally. So anytime you're struggling with anything, it's an imbalance. And that's why it's, the ability to really examine yourself and everything that you're doing from like a perspective of just looking at everything that you're doing from like without any type of judgment or attachment can help you get a clearer picture of what the fuck's going on with yourself. So that's why I think I'm able to self-examine and reflect on myself. And in doing so, it also helps lead you to the solution, because it's like, okay, well, this is, yeah, I was acting like an asshole kind of yesterday. So this is what happens when you act like an asshole: is you actually wake up feeling like crap because you've been putting crap energy out there, and that crap energy comes back on you. So moral of the story is, if you want to stop feeling like crap, stop putting crap energy out there. And it works. Like the more I choose to focus on love and goodness and happiness and reacting healthily, the more I do feel that. Now, that doesn't mean that that's all I'm going to feel, because there has to be resistance, there has to be challenge, there has to be a type of spirit that comes after you as you begin to persevere. As the more angelic you become, the more the demons are going to come after you. That's how I feel, because you're more of a threat to them. Like right now, Satan, the evil ones have sway over this reality. So anytime anybody is persevering in the spiritual and goodness and health and happiness, it's just a demon's MO to go over there and fuck with them. Because the more people that are spreading that beautiful light, like the less power they have over this grid. So it's their job, it's their duty, it's their innate, intention, MO, to like soldier out there and fuck with people who, like that's their job, like to be the resistance. Like we need that force in the universe in order for us to grow. So anyways, with people with hope, like who have issues with hope, you got to create your own hope, is what it, largely comes down to. People can inspire you and do this and that, and we can be examples for each other, and you can't help people out by talking to them and helping, listen. Like listening is a huge I can't tell you how powerful it is to like to not only talk but also to like listen. Like that partnership is just invaluable. Like there's you can't put a value on it. It's so valuable. Like that intimate moment of a human being expressing themselves to another human being who's truly undividedly listening to them, wanting to be there, not just agree with everything and coddle them, but to really listen and to be a voice of reflection and reason and also care for them is huge. Saves lives type shit. It really does, in my opinion. And this is also why I'm a huge proponent for like, whenever there's an issue, we gotta talk. Like, or communicate somehow. If you can't vocally speak, then maybe text or try a different method of communication. But not expressing that shit, I think, is extremely detrimental. Like that's one of the, it's cancer causing, just energetically fuck up causing, just bad in a number of different ways. So, and unfortunately, social media has made it harder for people to communicate, as ironic as it is, because that's what, we should be, you think we'd be more connected than ever because we have the ability to connect with people literally across oceans now with this technology. But in actuality, because we have this ability to view so much vicariously, we choose to do less in our immediate lives because we have the convenience of looking at a screen for so much, and you can just sit back and observe without actually getting involved in the party. Like, without all this shit, like you used to have to go out and find social things to interact in. Otherwise, you would be a complete recluse and hermit. But now you can be a recluse and a hermit and still get to watch whatever the fuck you want. So it's really dangerous. It's the complacency levels have got to be higher than ever. In my opinion, that's probably why a lot of people are killing themselves, because there's no happiness. Like there's no purpose in being complacent. Like you're just literally, and if you're not doing anything good, then you really are acting as a, more like a parasite than anything else, because you sitting there watching, that does come at a cost. You got to eat, you got to shit, you got to use water, you got to use electricity. And if like you're not doing anything good to help back to, with that exchange, then all you're doing is sucking and taking, and you're not giving back anything. So it's like that's clearly an imbalanced ratio that's not going to result in anything really good or happy. It can't, because if it did, then more people would do that, and they'd feel happy doing that. The more people would continue to do that, and eventually things would just be all fucked up all over the place, because there's no way a society is going to be able to be sustainable and able to perpetuate itself if everybody's just sitting around fucking doing nothing, watching everybody else doing shit that's already been recorded, while nobody's taking care of the good work. Nobody's doing nothing to take care of nothing, really. So that's why the good works needs, like, it's imperative that we have good works to do, that we have a purpose, that we find a purpose. And if that's that's another thing too, is having purpose. People who don't have hope, a lot of the times I feel like it's probably because they don't really know what the fuck they want to do with their lives, or they're having trouble figuring out exactly what resonates with them. And that's another thing too, like this good work, like I never felt like a huge, like I was actually, the resistance, like the hemp especially, as I've said this before, I think they've put a spell on the hemp plant because they know how powerful it is, they know how threatening it is to their entire empire, and so they've literally cast a spell on the plant so that whenever anybody goes to look at it or research into it, there's an inert resistance to look into more of it, because that's what they want. They don't want you looking into it, so they put a spell on it to make people less wanting to examine it. And it's been extremely effective because there's hardly anybody talking about it. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be talking about it. That's where you need to use your good rational senses to be like, hold on a second. Even though I'm feeling like I shouldn't be looking into this plant, everything that I'm factually seeing, evidence, like all the evidence behind this plant is telling me that it does nothing but goodness. So it's like, maybe I need to, like, maybe there's a reason why they don't want me looking into it. Like, yes, the evil ones don't want you perpetuating things that are going to threaten their empire. It's that simple. Okay? And then there's also just like whenever you're around anything like even the Bible, Yahushua, the word, one of the reasons why there's so much resistance with the word with Yahushua is because it is so powerful. There's been spells cast on it. There's been a lot of work to get people away from truly aligning with that code, with that pattern, with that level of information, because that is what will unlock supernatural abilities within yourself. And if enough people really do collect, and like even if just one person truly takes the word of their full heart and literally commits themselves in every single way as much as they can, that in itself would be enough to like produce like some type of a Super Saiyan type figure, like potentiality wise, which in just one person, if they really like got to that level of power, could, in my opinion, decimate this whole fucking evil kingdom, because that would be a direct line to the Most High. So it's like that one being would have the power of the Almighty within themselves. Nothing would be able to fucking touch them on this planet, because you'd literally be radiating at a different alien level of power that's unmatched. Nothing, no low vibrational being is able to touch what the Most High is able to touch, as far as energetically speaking. But that's why there's so much distractions. That's why there's so much keeping us down. That's why there's so much bogging us and weighing us and fucking us up, making us sick, all these types of things, because they don't want us getting there. Because they know that if we humans really do become, what we truly can become, it's game over for them. So, anyways, all right, I love y'all. Y'all have a good one. All right, love you guys. Bye.